with us more about the TESS project. It's time now for us to move into the next, which is curricular enrichment delivered through the application of location-based services to intelligent transport systems. And to present this project to us, we're happy to have Dr. Amila Buddhika Jayasinghe from the University of Moratuwa. Let's put our hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, we would like to thank the organizing committee giving us the opportunity to share LBS to ITS project. Let me briefly introduce the project first. The main aim of this project is to higher education curriculum development to make the capacities of professionals who are working in the urban planning and transport sector by enhancing the curriculum as well as the teaching methodologies in the universities. The main partner of the project is TUVN. You can see their logo, and we have National Technical University of Athens. So there are pioneers in LBS technology in Europe, and we have Technical University of Dresden. So that is considered as the largest university who teach in transportation in Europe, which having 23 departments only on transportation. So we had the privilege to get their experience in this project. From Sri Lankan side, yes, University of Moratuwa as a leading university who teach modules related to transport and urban planning involved in this project. And Sabaragama University from the geoinformatics field, and we had Jayawardhanapura University incorporating the new technology stream modules, and we had the Kothalawa Defense University incorporating the computer science. So you might wondering what is LBS, that is location-based service. If you are using a mobile phone, so it means you are using location-based services, like Google Maps, PickMe, Uber, those things. So those are the new technologies used everyday people, but if you look at our curriculums which we teach in the universities, we are lag behind. So therefore, when you are developing this project, the professors who came TUVN, so they study what is the problem in Sri Lanka. Yes, we are discussing the new transport system like LRT and highways and so on, but they have identified the biggest challenge in Sri Lanka is the lack of information. Okay, so using less investment in sustainable way, we can develop these information systems, especially location-based service. So then they have identified there is a gap in the professional sector. So by bridging the higher education sector curriculum, so we can incorporate that development. So that's how we develop this project. So these are the key activities. First one is foster regional cooperation. So combining with international universities, Sri Lankan universities, and Sri Lankan institutes like RDA, UDA, and even Port Authority, and recently joined Land Commission with us to get the support to map out the land inventory in Sri Lanka. You might not know in Sri Lanka, a couple of months before, we didn't have the digital land inventory. So with the support of this project outcomes, we were able to start that also. And we had 6 teacher training workshops to train staff members, because most of these modules are very much new, especially LBS modules. And from the TU distant side, so the Dresden is one of the cities in Europe which won the best or most sustainable transport system in the world. So they were able to share the mechanism, not only the theoretical perspective, how they are implementing the governance, how they deal with the politician, and so on. So these training courses help us to learn those good practices. And based on that knowledge, we modernize some of the courses as well as introduce new courses, both postgraduate and undergraduate level. And with the support of this project, 4 universities were able to establish LBS laboratories in their universities with state-of-art equipment like GNS equipment with having 1 centimeter accuracy. So I don't think anywhere in Sri Lanka we have such a kind of accurate devices to use in the surveying and this LBS application, and also high-end computers and video conferencing facility to connect different laboratories to have a high capacity lecture. Especially with the high intake, we face some of the limitation because we have limited 50 seating capacity laboratory. With these facilities, we were able to combine 2 laboratories and conduct combined classes. And also we were able to introduce this problem-based learning into these modules. I will explain some of the best practices. And also quality assurance. Yes, we have a very good quality assurance systems, and we use like Moodle systems for our activities. But in this program, we will come up with a smartphone-based application to get the student feedback. Because we have identified in our system the current practice obtaining the feedback from the student, it is lacking, especially real-time feedback just after your lecture or just after your laboratory works. So as I mentioned earlier, so we mainly extensively work on the curriculum enhancement. So there is an innovation approach we have adapted. So conventionally we have this T-shaped curriculum, so where it focuses on disciplines like computer science, IT, or AI, or some universities has domain-related modules like civil engineering, transport. But in here, what we have done is combine these two and come up with the 5-shape modules, which has a discipline knowledge that the computer science, IT, and so on, and also we have the transport, urban planning, and other domain knowledge. So it enhanced this critical thinking as well as analytical reason. So likewise, we were able to develop this much of modules. In the different universities. University of Morocco able to came up with a new postgraduate degree that is called Urban Informatics. Other than the module developments, we have developed a set of teacher learning manuals, about 20 teacher learning manuals, which is available in online, so anybody can use those manuals for teaching in your universities. And also we have developed set of problem-based learning courses, because we have found that in Sri Lankan university, yes, we are focusing on knowledge and skill, but what is lacking is motivation and attitude development. As example, like if you are teaching sustainable development, yes, you can teach the skills and knowledge, but if you don't have sustainable attitude, so you cannot practice as a professional. As a transport planner, urban planner, if you are using unsustainable modes, how we can practice the sustainable development in your profession. So these problem-based applications help us to motivate our students to live sustainability as well as practice in their future professional life. Okay, so challenges, most of the challenges are very much similar to the other universities presented, so therefore I am not going to detail discuss. But what I would like to highlight is how we have overcome these challenges. All 7 universities, not only Sri Lankan, the European university, we work as a family. So always they help us, and we also dedicated our full support during these challenges, so then we were able to overcome those challenges. Okay. So let me highlight some of the best practices. One best practice we can highlight is sharing. So we always try to share both knowledge and equipment. Yes, as a project partners, we got this equipment, but we haven't limited those equipment. Now we are sharing within the university with other departments. Even we are sharing with other universities if they request. And also within all 4 universities, we have a sharing mechanism. So if you have laboratory works in University of Morocco, we borrow the equipment from the Sabaragamuwa and sharing as well as KDU and Jayawardhanapura. And also when we are having the workshops, so previously those workshops planned only for the academic staff members. But we found that it is better to expand those workshops to other members, especially we invite the industrial people from UDA, RDA, and so on, as well as we allowed our postgraduate students also to participate in these teacher training workshops. And when we are developing our curriculum, we haven't just practiced, we develop a curriculum and implement. So we follow this reflective learning practices, where initially we identify the problems with the European partners, and then we had a discussion within the university, our academic staff members, and then we have developed and come up with some improvements, and then we got the feedback from the European universities, and then we implement as a pilot course with the students, and we got the comments from the student, and as well as we invite the industrial partner to evaluate those courses, and then we got the once again set of comments, and then once again we develop like about 2 to 3 times of cyclic process we adapt before finalizing the final curriculums as well as the learning materials. And also, other than this, like developing this mechanism, we conduct a series of research focusing on higher education development, student learning, how effective this problem-based learning, so how we can incorporate this technical equipment in a very effective ways. Okay, so those are the best practices. So finally, I would like to highlight this networking. So with this project, we had a lot of networking. Now, after projects also, we can say these networks are helping. Now we have a discussion with the TUD to continues this problem-based learning as a student exchange project in the upcoming years, as well as a Port Authority. They are very much happy to establish their branch in the Port Authority to facilitate this kind of teaching. Okay? So with that, I would like to conclude our presentation. So we are happy to share our materials with you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Amila Buddhika Jayasinghe, for speaking to us about the LBS to ITS project. Our next project in this sector is titled Successful, and its full form is Sustainability and Climate Change Education in Sri Lanka for Systems Change and Futures Literacy. Our presenter is Professor Isham Mohammed. He's from the Sabragamva University, and we'd now like to invite him to give us an overview of this project. Let's put our hands together for Professor Isham Mohammed.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to talk about the successful project. So as you can see, the successful project is the Sustainability and Climate Change Education in Sri Lanka for System Change and Future Literacy. So this is a project that comes under strand 1 of Erasmus Capacity Building in Higher Education. So well, as you can see, this project started in 2000. Actually, we started in 2023. That was late 2022 and 23. And now the project is in progress. And we have like a funding of 400,000 euros, plus there is a 10% self-financing for this. And the partner universities are, from Sri Lanka, we have 2 universities. The university that I represent, the Sabragamva University of Sri Lanka, and the Uavellassa University of Sri Lanka are the 2 Sri Lankan partners. And we have 2 European partners, the Turku University in Finland and Wageningen University and Research in the Netherlands. So the project is coordinated by the Turku University in Finland. We are the Sri Lankan other partners of this successful project. So let me give you some idea about what is this project. So actually, as you can see, the broader objective of this project is, that is, the project is supposed to end by end of 2025. So we want to sort of provide equitable, digital, and future-oriented quality education on climate change at the partner universities, particularly we also consider the inclusiveness, diversity, and provide opportunities for disadvantaged students. So that is the broad objective of this particular project. From the broad objective, you can see there are 3 specific objectives that comes from the broad objective. The first one is that we are trying to develop the institutional setup, particularly the internationalization, because as I think when the EU projects were discussed, I think Mr. Eugenio did mention about the strand 1. So one of the objectives of the strand 1 is the internationalization process. So our first objective is to set up or sort of form the groundwork for the internationalization process. And the second one is enhancing the capacity of the Sabragamva University of Sri Lanka and the Uavellassa University for sustainable futures literacy and climate change education. And the third objective is, as you can see, improving the equitable access to students is the third specific objective of this project. The approach that we have adapted is, particularly it has three elements. As you can see, the future literacy, the innovative pedagogies, and understanding complexities in climate change. So we are trying to look at these interdependent elements, three elements, to bring them together. That is our approach. So here, for the first time, we have tried to incorporate futures literacy into the climate change education in Sri Lanka. So that is particularly the University of Turku is doing a lot of work on futures research. So we are trying to bring their knowledge and skills into developing this particular module on climate education. So here, particularly, as you know, the futures literacy is very important, particularly when it comes to the area of climate change, because the uncertainties and what unfolds in the future, is something that all of us are concerned about. So the futures literacy becomes an important component, particularly in the climate change education. So we try to bring this into the course modules. And apart from that, we are trying to bring in innovative pedagogies, particularly the University of Wageningen is helping us with, because their expertise is on pedagogies, so they are supporting us with particularly the problem-based and challenge-based education into the climate change education, because it is very, very important, because really when you look at the climate change education, it is very important to sort of bring in this kind of challenge-based education, because when it comes to most of our courses right now, what we do is most of the theoretical and the traditional approaches are adapted, but when it comes to like the climate change, it is utmost necessary that the students are, the capabilities of students are built to really face problems and how to find solutions to these problems. So we are trying to bring in these innovative capabilities or innovative pedagogies rather into these course modules. And also we are looking at the climate science and understanding the complexity, because you know climate change is a wicked problem and it is so complex, and the society that the implications of climate change are huge, and I don't want to discuss this, everybody is aware of it. So we bring these three elements together in order to develop this open access education opportunity on climate change education. So that is basic approach of our project, and the major product of our project, which is the open access education opportunity. Particularly we are looking at the module that has been adapted in Finland. There is a virtual climate university in Finland, which is the module that we are trying to use, because this has been in practice for some time in Finland. It is developed by a consortium of universities in Finland, and that is the module that we are looking at, and how we can contextualize the climate university model in Sri Lanka, with particularly, as I mentioned, the problem-based education. Okay. So of course I'll quickly go into, because the time is running out, so I'll look at the challenges that we have faced. Of course I have the same, most of the challenges that were mentioned by the other presenters. So we did have this, the problem with the currency fluctuation, the economic crisis, and of course restrictions, because when it comes to some of our universities, like Sabaragamu University, we don't have a euro account, so it's very difficult for us to get the funds. What happens is when the funds are transferred from the coordinating university, that is the Turku University, it converts into rupees. So when the exchange fluctuation happens, then we of course have to face the issue of the loss of funds. Of course, there is now, particularly as far as Sabaragamu University and OLS University is concerned, we don't have much EU projects. So we are new to this. So that's why you can see, of course, there are a few other projects, but not many as other universities. So I think it's also important for the awareness of these programs to create awareness among particularly the administrative staff. So there has to be some way for that as well. So then, of course, we also find there are some incompatibility between the financial procedures of the university system in Sri Lanka and the EU guidelines. So there are issues that we have to, troubleshoot. Then, of course, when it comes to this particular project, we have also, there is a component in the proposal where we need to develop climate lab and learning spaces. So we sometimes get into trouble because we are only allowed to purchase equipment, not furnitures. So that is also one of the problems that we face. And then, of course, as you know, like our universities, the International Affairs Division is not that strong. It's not equipped. And so, I think that is very important. I think here I should mention that the International Affairs divisions of the universities should be strengthened so that the collaborations can be encouraged, because this the all purpose of this gathering is also to encourage the international collaboration. So I think strengthening the international affairs divisions of some of the universities is utmost important if we are to, get the best out of these kind of collaborations. And as far as the best practices are concerned, I'll quickly go through. So it's, we are trying to integrate climate change education across disciplines, not just one faculty. I represent the Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, but we want to take it beyond. So we are in the process of developing, I'll take just 10 seconds, across disciplines. And of course, embed challenge-based pedagogy, we have already done that. And we are in the process of developing the curricula. And also the development of Smart Climate Center and Future Research Center. We are thinking of, and we have put the groundwork for developing a center at Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka. And then, of course, the open access online contents on climate change education with the flavor of futures literacy is another achievement. And of course, we have started networking with non-academic partners and to collaborate with them and to take the climate education beyond the boundaries of the university. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Isham Mohammed, for speaking to us about the successful project. And with that, we're now moving into the final project to be presented today. This is titled SECRA, Strengthening University Enterprise Collaboration for Resilient Communities in Asia. Our presenter is Professor Ranjit Dissanayake from the University of Peradeniya. We'd now like to invite Professor Dissanayake to take stage. Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Professor Ranjit Dissanayake.
Good afternoon. Thank you. The title is the SECRA. Rather than going into with the presentation, I would like to just start at as next is the lunch, right? So when you go to the data, like in the working population in Sri Lanka, it's like almost less than 2% entrepreneurs, whereas some countries like Thailand, we get the 15%. So there's a huge barrier and gap. Of course, this project is trying to bring this, educate the student toward the entrepreneurships. So we have developed the various activities in order to bring them into this platform, so that where rather than going into the details, so these are the objectives. As I said, the main objective is to bring this entrepreneurial culture into the student. So we are smart growth and sustainable growth and inclusive growth. These are the areas where we try to bring them. some of the activities that we are doing through this project is to we develop the policy dialogue and present it to the higher authorities. As well as we have been continuously having the workshop with the partners, whereby we try to grab the best practices and use it for our benefit. And we have started the conference we call the Colombo Conference, that is on the university industry collaboration, where we try to engage with the industry more and more and educate the student as well as the industry to how to way forward, because we understand there's a huge distance between our universities and industry, almost not working much except a few sectors. And we continuously having the dialogue with the foreign parties, whereby we learn what are the best practices, and the same kind of program or the concept we try to develop here in Sri Lanka. So that we have been very successful of doing this one, and we have understand that the student now are more interested in becoming the entrepreneurs than before, right? We have the data for that one. As well as the universities also more interested in making the more and more university-industry collaboration. We understand that the universities has been keeping developing the innovation, new practices and so forth. Without them putting into the real practices, there won't be a growth, income won't generate to the country. That has been seen that we have been, as a country, has been spending a lot of money for the education, but the output is we have still depend on the import economy and so forth. Therefore, university industry, through the university industry collaboration, making sure that the whole innovation and combined with the industry as well as the education, the student, rather than finding the job, those who has a potential becoming the entrepreneurs and bring the wealth for the nation. So that is one of the area we are very much lagging in our system. Therefore, this project help us to change the mindset of the people. And of course, the collaboration is why it is important, because when we go to the different countries, we have the different kind of arrangement that they have done. For example, very good example in Thailand, they have developed the science parks within the universities, but which are not fully connected to the university, so they can operate freely. So what happened is maybe we might have discussed the many barriers that we have. Some of those, I'm not going to talk about these barriers. These are the barriers that we have. For example, right now, of course, we concluded the SECRA project very recently. Of course, the people came to this country and went, but still we could not get any sense from the university. It's like almost 5 million. We have all the payment to the hotel and various others are pending, but this is the situation. So how can we work like that? These are the barriers that I'm not going to talk about. The barriers are common for each and everybody. So with that, of course, we have already received another grant, as Professor Guttila mentioned, Fountain. It's very much similar, and there we have the private university also on board. So very much similar. It is also again the university industry collaboration, and we have applied nearly another 3 grants, right? It is the results are pending. So that this has been a continuation. I think we are very happy about it, and also we have developed another center in Colombo. It is we call as a GAP headquarters again to collaborate with the university and industry collaboration. So I would like to invite those who are doing activities in Colombo, especially universities outside of the Colombo, so that you can contact me. So if you want to have the meeting location or some other activities, of course, you can use the GAP headquarters. GAP headquarters for the innovation and entrepreneurship, exactly the similar theme of what we do at the SECRA projects. It's a very successful project, and we really enjoy doing it, and we would like to continue the project like this. Thank you so much.
We say thank you very much to Professor Ranjit Disanaika for speaking to us about the SECRA project. And with that, we will be now wrapping up all of the project presentations. We thank each of our speakers for sharing with us their insights on their best practices, the challenges faced, as well as the successful strategies used in their various projects. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes from now, we will be heading over for lunch. Before that, let me once again remind you that for all of these projects, if you would like to know more information, we have the project posters placed right here on the desk, so feel free to stop by and take a look. Meanwhile, I'd like to inform you that lunch is going to be for 45 minutes, so we hope to see you in your seats on time at 2:45. Right after we begin, we have an online presentation from an academic expert, so I'm sure you don't want to be late for that. With that being said, thank you very much. Lunch is served. Bon appetit, and we'll see you at 2:45 p.m. Thank you.